Hello, this is Art Games. Today I'll be working a little bit more on this Song of Durin painting. This is a low-res image. I believe it's 1024 by 512, which is a good size for the AI to work with natively without having to upscale it. It's quite low-res for a Photoshop painting, but I really have to figure out how to get the upscaling working properly in ComfyUI before I put a lot of effort into high-resolution painting. Before I begin, I'd just like to encourage you to subscribe to my Substack. So much of the internet tries to second guess what content you'd like to see or what you sign up for, and Substack is a very effective way to get around that. If you sign up for the Substack, you'll get an email whenever I create content, which will ensure you will see what you want to see. And I'm presuming if you subscribe, then you want to see my content. So to begin with, just to reassure myself that I have this AI system properly hooked up, I am going to just run it through the pipeline once and see if it works. Just let me double check my settings. 45 steps, CFG 7.3. It's been a while since I did this, and I'm having to sort of remember what all these different options do. I think this is all right. This is not a flux LoRa. This is a derivative of Stable Diffusion, I think, but okay. So let's run this through the system. Just let me double check that the outputs are correct. That looks right to me. All right, let's hit it. All right, what did we get? Let me zoom in on that for you. Okay, so that's more or less seems to be working. I'm not going to keep any of those changes, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not going to keep any of those, but I just wanted to make sure it was working properly. All right, so let's create a new layer. And I'm going to make some basic changes to to the composition here. It looks a bit weird to me. Let me grab a good brush here. Let's see, Art Gains brushes, Art Gains oils, Alf Ganamom Ninner Pencil, whatever this brush is. Is that what I want? There's a bit too much tonal variation on there. Turn that down a bit. Color dynamics way down. How's that? That's a bit better. It feels a bit weird painting at such a low resolution because usually I would expand the painting to fill the whole page, the whole screen, but there are some benefits from working at a low resolution as well. I have to remember to mirror all these changes I'm making, otherwise it'll look a bit weird. Really should copy and paste. Yeah, I think that's what I should do. Also, I can turn things sideways, give me a better sense of proportions, I guess. I don't know. It's a bit too light on the top of this rock. I'm going to darken that up a bit. Don't really like that. Need some highlights, I think. Sometimes sometimes mirroring the image gives you some insight into what's wrong with the lighting and how to fix it. To make these rocks that are in the distance look a little bit, well, to make them look like they're in the distance, they have a sort of a blue tinge to them. There's more atmosphere between us and the rocks, so they look a bit greener and fuzzy. I did have an idea that I would have some streaks of gold running through this rock. Let me just see if I can do something with that idea. Bit weird looking. I might turn that layer off just to come back to it later and see what I think. Let's change the opacity and see if that changes anything. Yeah, I don't know. Looks more like paint than ore. I'll turn that off for the moment. Maybe I'll revisit it later. Okay, now for some foliage. Make sure I have a new layer. Check out my brushes, and I should have some foliage brushes here. Let's see here. Art Gains brushes. Art Gains grass and foliage. All right. Grass, trees. Grass. Textures. Have to find the right kind of grass. That one might be it. How's this? This one maybe? Yeah, this one's good. Alright. Woohoo! Already some nice results. Okay, so let me bring my layers panel over so I can show what's going on here. Okay, so again, this is a little weird working with such a small canvas, but I'll do my best. So we want to start with the darkest colors. Probably turn up my opacity here somehow if I can. Shape dynamics. Minimum opacity. I have to turn that up. Minimum opacity and minimum flow. Okay. Let's see, what is controlling the angle of this grass? Nothing is controlling the angle of the grass. That's not right. So I need to change that to shape dynamics. Angle jitter is controlled by direction. Is that right? Yes, there we go. Select this dark green. It has to be from left to right. Okay. And we should take a little bit of a lighter colored green with a little bit more yellow and just add a couple little specks in there. Yeah. Okay, now let's do that. Do the same thing over here. And again, get ourselves a little bit of a highlight color. Throw a few little highlights in there. Don't make them too obvious. Let's see, how's that look? Need a few more big pieces over here, like that, like that. Whoop, down here I don't want, just erase that. And let's put a little tiny bit of dead grass in there, so make it darker, dark brown, a little bit darker. It's very easy to overdo this so that it starts looking a bit artificial, so I have to be careful about how much I do this. How's that look? Pretty good. Let's find another foliage brush. Just to throw a bit of variety in there. Let's get a shade of yellow and see what we get. Very faint, not too pronounced. And another grass brush. Let's see here, what have I got? Ooh, this will be good for some bulrushes. It doesn't look that great actually. Let's turn the opacity jitter down. The minimum opacity down. Just get a bright yellow color and stick that there. Needs to be bigger, I think. And I need to turn the scatter down because I have don't have enough control over where it's placed. Shape dynamics. That's not it. Scattering. Turn scattering off. There we go. And click. Click. That's too big. Click. And click. They're almost exactly the same. Let's see if I can find a different. Scattering off. Let's mirror the image and see what it looks like. bit too much there. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so let's flatten this all, and oops, what did I do? I created a mask layer. I don't want that. Flatten everything. Control all, control copy, undo, control shift V, paste in place, and you have to mirror it. So let's select what we want, copy, paste, edit, transform, flip vertical, and position it as best we can there. Turn the opacity down a bit, and apply a level effect, levels, and darken it up. No, that doesn't look right. Sort of like that. How's that look? Needs to be adjusted a bit, but it's looking, that's a bit too dark, I think. Or like that, maybe? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Apply the level layer, apply a level mask, and make the entire layer transparent. And now we paint back in the parts that we want. All right. A bit glowy, but let's see what we can do about that. I think I'm going to have Durin like holding his hand out for a bird or something. There'll be a bird resting in his hand. It doesn't matter if this mirrored image is exactly perfect, because mirrored images that are at an angle like this are not exact mirror images. They're at a slight angle. But because this is a painting, it doesn't matter if you get it exactly, because no one will see the difference anyway. I'm sort of inclined to think that the reflection should be a bit blurry. Let's see if I can use the blur tool to improve this a little bit. Where's the blur tool? Smudge tool? Sharpen tool? Blur tool. There it is. This is very graphics intensive, this tool. I have to make sure I sample all layers. There we go. Let's see, has this improved any from what I started with today? Let's bring my history panel over here and toggle back to where it was when I started this video. Well, I think this could benefit from being pushed through the AI system a little bit more. So let's experiment and see what we get. Let's turn the denoiser up to 0.25. Make sure I have the right layer selected. And kerblam. Kind of interesting. I can't tell if it's blurry or what exactly is going on there. Every time I put it through the AI, it sort of makes things a little bit, I don't know what the word is. Pixelated? No, that's not the right word. Posterized? I'm not sure. Okay, let's take that layer, give it a layer mask, make it completely transparent, and then paint back in a few bits and pieces. Gives a bit of improvements to this rock, I think, maybe. The foliage looks a bit more chaotic now, which is an improvement. All right. So my plan for tomorrow is to try to make some major improvements with my comprehension of the AI system, and hopefully get some work done on the nuclear comic. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll be able to produce several days worth of content tomorrow so that I can get back into the YouTube algorithm. If you want to help me out so that I can continue bringing you content like this, plus tutorials, plus other cool stuff, you can consider getting my book, The Screaming Void. It's available on Amazon in ebook format, hardcover and softcover. If you like Alien, or The Chronicles of Riddick, or John Carpenter's The Thing, you might like it, so check it out. It's a good sci-fi story. Thanks for watching.